Keeper of the Crossroads, voice of destiny, the child of paradox. In the beginning, when Olajime shaped the heavens and the earth, the gods, known as the Awe were given powers and domains. Batalo was given the task of molding humans from clay, and was entrusted with sweetness and fertility. Awiggrave NG was crowned with thunder, and Runmiller with wisdom and divination. But was different. When he was born, he cried not like a child but laughed, a booming laugh that startled the elders. His face carried two expressions at once, joy and anger, innocence and mischief. The diviners declared, "This child is not ordinary. He is the embodiment of duality, both shadow and light." Thus, grew not into a single path but into many. He walked among humans and gods alike, learning their weaknesses, testing their hearts, and carrying their words. The keeper of Awiggrave. One day, when the gods gathered before Olajime, they boasted of their powers. Awiggrave NG struck the skies with thunder, uncaused rivers to flow, and Batala molded new forms of clay. But Olajime spoke. "All of you wield Awiggrave divine power, but only one shall control its movement. That one is..." The gods protested. "Is a trickster. He confused these men. How can such a one hold the key to power?" Olajime smiled and said, "Because power must not be predictable. If it were always gentle, men would take it for granted. If it were always harsh, men would lose hope. We'll teach balance. Through him, prayers and sacrifices will either reach me or be lost. Respect him, and your words will fly. Neglect him, and they will fall like stones." From that day, no ritual, no prayer, no divination could bypass. He became the gatekeeper of destiny, the one who carried offerings to the heavens. The day tested the gods. The Awiggrave grew uneasy with this growing influence. To humble him, they once attempted to exclude him from a great feast. Runmiller, the wise, warned them, "If is not honored, no blessing will come of this gathering." But Awiggrave NG, full of pride, thundered, "Let us eat without him. What can he do?" So they feasted, pouring palm wine and eating roasted yam without giving his share. Appeared in the shadows, smiling, his eyes glowing like fireflies. He said nothing, but as the gods ate, the wine turned to sour vinegar, the yam to ashes, and the drums fell silent. Fear gripped the Awiggrave. They fell to the ground, begging, laughed and said, "I do not need your food. I need your respect. Without me, even the sweetest sacrifice turns bitter." From that day, was always honored first in ritual. One of its most famous stories is told in the villages of the Yoruba. Two farmers lived side by side. They were friends, so close they tilled their lands together, drank palm wine together, and trusted each other like brothers. But, mischievous as ever, decided to test their bond. One morning, he fashioned a hat, red on one side, black on the other, and strolled down the path between their farms. He greeted each farmer cheerfully and went on his way. After he left, one farmer turned to the other and said, "Did you see the man in the black hat?" The other replied, "What nonsense. His hat was red." "Black. Red." Their argument grew into rage, then into a fight. By evening, the two friends who once shared everything were enemies, swearing never to speak again. At that moment, appeared again, laughing, spinning the hat in his hands. He showed them both sides, red and black. Shame fell upon the farmers, for they realized their friendship had been broken by illusion. Said, "I do not create hatred. I only reveal what lies beneath. If your bond was true, a hat could not have broken it." And he disappeared into the dust. The messenger who speaks in many tongues. S nature was not only to guard power, but also to test truth. When a king gave judgment, might whisper into the ear of the guilty, tempting him to confess, or into the ear of the innocent, giving him courage to speak. In the market, walked as a beggar or child, testing whether traders would cheat or deal fairly. Sometimes he sowed quarrels, not from malice, but to reveal hidden feelings. For the Yoruba say, "Does not create evil, he exposes the evil that is already in men's hearts." Because of this, he is often depicted with many tongues or mouths, speaking different truths to different people. Some feared him, others adored him, but none could ignore him. The guardian of crossroads and travelers. In every Yoruba village, S shrine stood at the crossroads, the place where paths meet and choices are made. Travelers poured palm oil, broke cola nuts, or left roasted yam at his shrine, praying for safe passage. Hunters, before entering the forest, whispered to guide their arrows true. He was also the god of the market. Traders prayed to him for good sales, but also feared his tricks. If a merchant cheated a widow, could make all his calories vanish into dust by morning. The crossroads became his throne, for there every human faced destiny, and was destiny's keeper. And Runmila, among all the Aye with grave, as close as companion was Runmila, the god of wisdom and divination. It was who carried Runmila's IFA versus the humans. When a diviner cast the sacred palm nuts or cowries, it was who opened the way for the message to be revealed. Without, the diviner's words were empty. With, the unseen became visible. Thus, every IFA divination began with honoring, for wisdom could not flow without him. The eternal balance is often misunderstood by outsiders, who call him the devil, but to the Yoruba, he is no demon. He is balance itself, the truth that life is never one thing. He is a child who laughs while crying, the road that splits into two, the voice that whispers both yes and no. He is a test of character, the mirror of choices, the reminder that every action has consequence. To worship is to accept life's complexity. To ignore him is to walk blindly into chaos. The legacy of, even today, Yoruba people remember him. In markets, at crossroads, in rituals, his name is called first. His stories are told in proverbs. Turns left into right. Is a master of tongues. Does not push you, he shows you the road you have already chosen. He is feared, yes, but also loved. For without him, prayers cannot rise, wisdom cannot speak, and destiny cannot unfold. Sparkles thus lives, the trickster, the messenger, the guardian of crossroads, the keeper of a with grave. He is laughter and fear, confusion and clarity, punishment and blessing. He is a God who teaches that in every choice lies the shape of our destiny.